Do words really have power? Our top 5% had two unique dynastic differences. My goal today is to share one idea, one thought, one concept that will have an impact on your life. Your journey, your purpose is remarkable. When I call information, half the time, they say, "Hold on, ma'am, I'll be right with you." Boy. I want to start with 3 words that, if understood and applied in your life, can dramatically change the way you live your life. The word humility. It isn't being subservient. Humility is being teachable, coachable. It is sharing your unique gifts, sir, the very best that you can. It comes from humus, dirt, that organic soil, that rich, dark soil that allows for growth. You won't grow or develop, and we won't allow anyone else around us to grow or develop without sufficient humility. If any of you have ever met my wife and you've met me, you will know that I over-married big time. I asked her to marry me 5 times. First time she said, "What's your first name?" before I answer. Because the first time I met her, I said, "I'm going to marry that woman." It took her 1.5 years to kind of get the same emotion. 30 years ago, when I proposed to her a 5th time. Sometimes it takes 5 times to make the close, right? Don't get discouraged if you say, "I've got a great opportunity here." Remember my roommates, I'd come home kicking a can, they'd say, "You asked her again, didn't you?" "Yeah, I did." But 30 years ago, I proposed a better life that we could enjoy together. And we would take our unique gifts and come together. And we just celebrated our 30th year anniversary. You will discover your purpose when you propose to the world what it is that you're going to do with your unique gift. When I was vice president of sales at Franklin, we took our top salespeople, those that made sometimes 10 or 20 times more than the bottom 5%. Our top 5% had 2 unique dynastic differences. Number 1, they read 2 books a month. I was just at Stephen Covey's home 2 weeks ago, who's been a dear and trusted mentor. Stephen reads, or scans, if you can believe it, a book every single day of his life. He's in the autumn of his life. What does Stephen still have to learn? And he has a statement that I hope you'll remember. If you don't remember anything from today, just consider these words. He has a little band that he puts around his wrist. His band says, "Live life in crescendo." I remember the first time he shared that with me, and I said, "What does that mean?" He said, "Your greatest work is always ahead of you." I was asked by corporate to sign a few hundred of these books, and I tried to tie in the slogan. That just about killed me. I had about 2.5, 3 hours at a FedEx to get these out, and I wrote, "Congratulations on your remarkable success. Continue to drive behavior and act in a way that creates success. Namaste, Kevin Hall." And then I wrote out 2010. That took me about 5 minutes, and then I looked at it, and I thought, we're never going to get these shipped off. So I pretty soon started writing, "You're remarkable, drive safely, Kevin Hall." There are 1 or 2 And if you have the book, I will pay you for it. One or two out there, I just wrote help and just signed my name because we had to ship those babies off. Now, Dr. Gerald Bell, he took 4 years of his life. He interviewed 4,000 retired executive officers, and he asked this question: if you could live your life over again, what would you do differently? They were CEOs. The number one response was, I would have carved out life goals earlier. Life isn't practice, it's the real thing. Number two was health. Health is the first wealth. Number three was money. Number four was family. There are 8. But number one outnumbered the other 7, 2-1. He sent me that study. I shared it with these 18 Boy Scouts. And then I said, whoever wants to go 21 miles instead of just 20, I'll buy you a steak dinner at the $1 Million Saloon. I guess that's legal. In Jackson Hole, if you do that. I had 4 takers. We took off running through the Tetons. As we turned around at 20 and a half miles and we're coming back, here comes a jogger with his beautiful smile, glasses on, and he said, are you Scoutmaster Kevin Hall? In the middle of the Tetons. And I thought, how could a creditor find me here? Boy, they're persistent. And he came up next to me and he said, your scouts say you can't read a compass very well. Let me jog you back to String Lake. And I said, where are you from? He said, North Carolina. Well, what part of North Carolina? He said, Chapel Hill. And I said, well, you wouldn't happen to know a Dr. Gerald Bell, would you? And he looked at me and he said, well, I am Dr. Gerald Bell. And then as we jogged back, I said, what are the chances that the very morning that I share that study with 18 scouts, and several hours later, Dr. Gerald Bell, who's from North Carolina, going to Denver, decides to stop in the Grand Tetons and go for a little jog. When you discover your purpose and tap into your unique gifts, you will find people who've been waiting on your path all along. What you say to yourself, what you say to others, words make up the fabric of our lives. A calling is a call because you can hear it. You either silence it or you answer it. There isn't a person in this room, if you've lived long enough, if you have senses, if you can see, hear, taste, touch, or feel, who hasn't been knocked down a time or two. It can be a sacred, life-defining thing. Are you willing to suffer for what you want most? Never let your mind talk you out of what your heart knows to be true. When you inspire is breath. You breathe life into someone or their dreams. Have you ever had somebody do that to you? Have you ever had somebody believe in you when you didn't believe in yourself? Spend your time with people who are investing, growing, and making a difference. You can't help someone get to their destination without getting a little closer to your own. It has been an absolute honor to be here today. I salute the divine within each of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.